Ooh, was bopping. Look, I'm back, man. Now, people have been asking me how to know if you've been spiritually awakened. What are some signs that you've been spiritually awakened? Now, I remember my spiritual awakening happened a few months back. It was a crazy experience, and this is what I went through. Now, y'all probably already know the basic ones, right? You're gonna change your diet. The one for me was milk. I couldn't drink milk. I just couldn't drink milk. It tasted disgusting. I think I read something on Twitter back then too that it has like sperm in it. So if y'all didn't know that, then I would stop drinking milk because you're basically, yeah, it's disgusting. But that was the one for me. It just tasted different. It felt different. Now this is after I had like a spiritual awakening. I already knew I did. I stopped messing with a lot of the friends I had. You start to see through it, man. I don't know if it's a third eye or what. You could say it's also, I feel like spiritual awakening, third eye opening. It's a similar thing, right? You start to see right through the people around you. Like, I'm talking right through it, right? You start to realize, are they my friends who have my back? Or are these people I'm just getting effed up with? These people I'm just going places with? Are these people just people who are inviting me because they don't want to be alone? You know what I'm saying? Are they doing it for themselves? Is it selfish reasons? You start to see through it, right? You start to realize some people are real, right? And those people who you thought were like mean to you were actually just being the realest with you. That's what's crazy, right? People often associate people who are real that they're rude, that they're mean because they keep it a buck, they keep it 100. Another sign, you don't mind being by yourself. This is kind of also goes in line with the people around you. You just don't, I don't know, you start to see through it. You realize the friends you had were fake, right? So you are fine with being by yourself. It's not even that you choose to be alone and you're just meditating, all this different stuff. It just happens naturally. It happened naturally for me. I didn't force anything, right? People just stopped hanging around me. I stopped hanging around people. I stopped doing certain things. You start to realize what's detrimental to you. The drugs, the partying, these habits that you're caught in. You literally start to see like right through it. Like, not even joking. Another sign, your intuition is up. You could call it synchronicities. You could call it coincidences, but you start to realize, yo, coincidences aren't real. There's no such thing. Everything's a sign, right? You start to, you stop believing in the logical way of thinking. You start to question everything. You start to look back at your life and realize you need to make changes. You start to become a bigger and a better person, right? You start to be more optimistic, more positive, right? But also at the same time, I felt like with me, bro, I would start to get mad at the world. Like, I would be so mad at the world that it's like in the state that it is, that we like let it get this way, or someone let it get this way, or that all this different stuff. You might go through phases of that, but for the most part, you're positive, right? You are optimistic for the future, right? Another thing, you start living in the moment. I think it was Alan Watts. He said, bro, tomorrow is non-existent. There's always tomorrow. Tomorrow, there's a tomorrow. Then tomorrow, then there's the tomorrow. There's always something to worry about in the future, right? Right? And the past, I said this too. If you're depressed, you're living in the past, right? You start to realize with this spiritual awakening that a lot of these wounds, a lot of these demons that you have are self-inflicted. You're self-destructing. You start to realize that. You're realizing, yo, I'm depressed, but it's because of my, up here, it's my mind. You're depressed because you're living in the past. There's nothing you could do about it. You see right through it. Sometimes it's, and it's hard, bro, because people be like, yo, like, I just can't, like, live in the moment. It's almost like something has to click within you for you to, like, really realize it. Because a lot of the time, someone could straight up tell you truth, but it just won't click. You need to learn for yourself. That's why spiritual awakening is so, like, precious, amazing, because you start to know, like, for yourself. You're going through your own spiritual awakening, right? Everybody's is different, but these are some signs that you're starting to just see through things, right? Another sign. What did I just leave off at? Bro, social media. You start to see right through the internet. Through social media. It's almost like it's a joke to you. It's funny. Life becomes like a game. Everything's funny. You start to see interactions and you just laugh. Because you're like, yo, these people are this, like, caught up in, like, what? Like, it just, like, you can't even fathom it. You start to think that you're crazy. You start to think, like, man, like, what is going on? Like, you feel like you're in, like, a episode, or, like you just feel like your life is, like you're in a TV show, right? You're in a TV show, but you don't know you're in a TV show. So you're like, everyone around you is in on the act, but you're just like, bro, what is going on? Or like you're in a TV show and you know you're in a TV show and everyone else doesn't know. And you're just like, bro, what is going on? Like, you have no idea. Like, I don't know, people are like caught up in different things. You start to realize what's really important. What really should be like absorbing your energy, bro. That's like the number one thing is social media. Everyone is faking on social media. I've made like 20 videos about social media. You start to realize you got one life. You don't need to videotape everything. You don't need to Snapchat everything, right? You don't need to type everything you see on Twitter or Instagram or whatever. You don't need to, you know what I mean? You stop living for other people. You start living for yourself. You were living in the moment. You can't live in the moment if you're living for someone else. How is that even possible? You know what I'm saying? How is that even possible? These are signs you've been spiritually awakened. You start to see right through things. You see synchronicities. People will tell you, well, you're just hyper aware of synchronicities. It's the placebo effect. People tell me this all the time. No fat, being sober, it's a placebo effect. You're just realizing results now. Bro, I don't give a damn. I feel better. Say it is placebo effect. I feel better. That's proof that the law of attraction works, that the mind works. You know what I'm saying? Like, bro, they're just further foolery will always fight itself, bro. Eventually it will. Eventually it will lose to itself. It's a lie. Right? Eventually it will. People say, yo, it's a placebo effect. Okay, say it is a placebo effect. That just proves the point of the power of the mind. That if I think it, it will happen. You know what I'm saying? So either way, man, these things are beneficial. If you're having a spiritual awakening, you probably you're stopped caring about the opinions of other people, which is big. That's the number one thing holding you back. Other people's opinions. You don't, bro, who cares? You start to realize you're in it for yourself. You're doing things for yourself. For yourself, because you realize everyone around you doesn't have your best interest in mind. That's like so true. You start to realize majority, if not everybody, is fake, and they're living for other people, and they're selfish. You start to realize that. Also, another thing, like for me, is you start to see the unity in everything, man. You know what I mean? This took me a little longer, but you start to see the unity. Like for me, I was mad at certain people or certain instances in my past. Like I used to think my past was a waste. It was a waste. I was 18, 19 years old, realized, bro, my life is a waste. Or it was a waste. The whole time I was chasing something that didn't matter. All this, all that. But then I realized, yo, I had to go through that, or else how would I know that this is the right path? So now it's like I look at it as it was literally like I needed to go through that. So there's no reason for me to get caught up in the past, right? I needed to go through that. If it weren't for that, where would I be now? You know what I mean? It's through that I was strengthened, right? Think about a hurricane. Cold and heat, cold and hot, opposites, boom, they clash, they make this powerful thing. Us humans, we can't stop a hurricane. We think we're so damn smart. We can't even stop a hurricane, a tsunami, a tornado, an earthquake. We can't stop that. We're nothing, bro. We're subject to Mother Earth. But look, a vortex from two opposites, boom. Bro, it's through two opposites that a powerful force can come, right? Opposition and faithful endurance. Bro, you'll grow from that. You start to realize that there is unity in everything. Duality, they call it. The balance of life. It's yin, it's yang. There's black in the white. There's white with the black. They can't exist without each other. They need each other to coexist, right? And you start to realize that. So you stop, I guess, having like hateful energy or guilt or regret, and you just start to realize that everything is like, it's almost like, you ever heard people just be like, life is perfect, like I am where I should be, basically, like, because I honestly feel like, bro, the universe has like this big algorithm. God has this big algorithm. Anything that comes, think about it. It's back to the duality. The universe got, bro, they have to be perfect because of how imperfect we are. Think about how imperfect we are. God, the universe, it has to be perfect. The algorithm has to be perfect. It's duality, right? You look into nature, everything is like balance, man. Everything's balanced and it happens naturally. See, humans, we try to force it. It happens naturally. We're a part of nature. A part of nature. Everything you see came from this earth, beside the rocks that we got from the moon. But all I'm saying is that everything here came from nature. There's balance in life. Look at nature. The ants, all the way to the birds, right? They keep each other like at a certain level so that one doesn't overpopulate. Everything is a balance. It's all in place for a reason. It's the same way in your life. You start to realize you can't force anything. You start to realize that life is just better just being stress-free, living in the moment, taking the options as they come. You're not living for what is to come or what has come. You're living for what is right now, what is right in front of you, because that's all you ever have. The moment, present is all you ever have. The future, right? This is from, I think, Kung Fu Panda. Yesterday is history. Tomorrow is a mystery. Today is a gift. That's why they call it the present. It's facts, man. All you ever have is now. These are the top realizations you have when you have a spiritual awakening. I'm probably leaving some out. Again, it's different for everyone. Synchronicities is a big one. You start to notice synchronicities. People will tell you, yo, no, you're hyper aware to synchronicities. That's the whole idea. I'm noticing it. You are not. That's the whole idea of an awakening. The things I'm noticing in this universe, in this algorithm, you're not noticing. That's proof. You just proved me right. Right? The synchronicities were always there. I'm noticing them now. I'm raising my consciousness, my awareness level. Right? You're evolving. You're noticing things. That's the whole idea about an awakening, is you literally notice things. I look back at my life, completely different person. I would never do the things that I did back then now. It's like I'm a snake shedding my skin. You realize, right? Realize, real eyes, realize, real lies. You get me? Y'all have probably heard that before. That blew me away when I was in like 4th grade. I couldn't sleep for like 3 nights. Realize, realize, realize. That's the truest factor that has ever been spoken. Right? And fake eyes will never realize. They believe everything that is in front of them. You start to see through it. That's the whole idea of awakening, or your third eye, or whatever you want to call it, or God's grace, or whatever. Doesn't matter. It's spiritual. Everyone believes we have a spirit. If you believe in that, whether you believe in God, whether you believe in a reptile lizard ruling the whole earth with his fingernails, I don't care, bro. At least you believe in something, and you don't believe in this BS matrix that we're in, bro. But either way, man, you just start to realize it. I'll catch y'all. Small talk doesn't excite you, right? How's school? How's work? You probably just got out of school and work. You're not trying to talk about that. You know it doesn't matter. You know it's not your purpose, right? So it doesn't excite you. You're trying to talk about something deeper, right? Something that actually matters. You know it's 3rd dimensional. And I mean, you just know it doesn't hold any weight, man. It's worldly. All right, I'll catch y'all, man. Stay up.